During Ramadan, it's forbidden. If I do, I'll break my fast. It's invalid. A lot of things. If I go after girls, uh, I have to stop that. But if I get used to that, and if I'm a smoker and I stop smoking because I'm fasting, and I get used to that, that helps me to get rid of smoking in my system. So it's among, no matter how you explain, you can never fully explain the benefit because they are enormous. They are beyond imagination. It's what you get during the month of Ramadan. So for me, there are no struggle.
Mm, mm. That's really fascinating what you mentioned, Alpha, about you have 11 months of the year where you can eat normally, and then 1 month during the during Ramadan, that's where you sacrifice. That's where you make the struggle and you sacrifice it. That's really interesting. If you're just joining us, I'm with Alpha Jalloh, who is from Sierra Leone. We are on our second virtual house visit. My name is Miko again, and we are doing our virtual house visits. We visit the homes of different Muslim members of the Muslim community here in Australia. And we're now live. We're live on our all of our channels on Gen 1, AMCCU, AMTV. So if you have any questions, please drop them below. So our guest, Alpha Amadou Jalloh. Do you want me to call you by your whole name, Alpha?
Yeah, it's up to you. Alpha Amadou, whatever. I love my full name though.
Yeah, Alpha. I'll call you Alpha. Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, Alpha is just telling me about himself. Alpha is, yeah, like I said, originally from Sierra Leone, and he's active in the community. He's active in helping out the youth, and he's also busy with work. So given that given because you are busy in your work, Alpha, can you tell us how do you balance working with fasting?
Uh, One thing about fasting, uh, fasting does not stop you from working. Uh, Working also to earn to support yourself and your family is part of Islam. It goes hand in glove. They can't go together because if you don't work, you can't survive. You can't take care of yourself or your family. Uh, Makes it very, very uh, sometimes hard, because especially we find ourselves in a society where uh, we have it's, I cannot call it secular states. We know how it is in Australia, and you work for an organization not based on religion. Or yes, I can assure you of one thing: the place I work, they respect um, religion, and they have no any negativity towards any religion, which I really appreciate. Uh, yes, like for me, I work uh, uh, 4 days in the week, and the days I work, I go, and I take my food with me, the food I need, because most times I arrive there uh, on time before the time I do break my fast. Uh, I get there, and with my food, I have the opportunity to pray on time whilst doing my job. And other staff are very, very supporting, and they recognize my religion and my being Muslim, and I really appreciate me fasting. So it makes it a little bit for me, makes it more comfortable, and which I really, really appreciate. It, whenever I'm working, I take my food with me, and then the rest of the family come together and break their fast.
Mm-hmm. That's really good to hear, Alpha. You mentioned work should not get in the way of fasting. I think that's really that's an interesting point, and it's good to hear that you work for an employer that's very understanding. They know your background, they know your cultural background, and they respect it. So I think that's great. They know that this is a special period for you, and yeah, they embrace it. So I think that's really good to hear. Yeah. And you mentioned that you bring your food with you at work. What kind of food do you prepare? What kind of food do you prepare, and what kind of food do you eat during Ramadan?
My, my God. Uh, for me, thank God I've got a very wonderful wife. She's a very wonderful cook, and
Good.
then uh, her hobby is the kitchen. Sometimes I
Oh,
beg her to come out of the kitchen. Uh, she, I take mostly for us like Sierra Leone, our staple food is rice.
yes.
It'll be surprising, maybe because most times you see Indians, Chinese, Pakistan, most of Asia, they they see rice is mostly their staple food. But us in Sierra Leone, it's rice, a little bit of rice. We have some sort of porridge that we call in our local dialect PAP, PAP, and
Mm,
then we have that one is a porridge, not too thick, and
mm,
then that one helps uh, clear the way. Most times it is very good to break your fast with hot water. Like I mostly do it with tea, with a little bit, drop a little bit of lemon in it or orange.
mm, mm.
Uh, um, Open my digestive system, and then also I get some fruits after I finish eating the rice. Uh, Also, I sometimes have some few other items. My wife always uh, provide. You fry chicken, plantains. I don't know whether you know about that plantains, which
Yes,
is banana.
I know plantains. Yes, those are bananas, right?
Yeah, she'll fry that one and then give it some sort of gravy mixed with onions, tomato, and all this. So beautiful. Uh, I know some people might be willing to eat right now, but let them wait. Uh, she she does all these things, and sometimes when I go to work, my 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 hand luggage could be so heavy with so much food. I could not even eat. My wife always, you have to eat, you know. Yeah, so that's what I take. Yeah, when I go when I go to work, that's what I take. And mostly it's rice, and I didn't say about what we have cassava leaves.
Mm,
I don't know whether maybe they call it tapioca or whatever. We have cassava leaves or potato leaves, or sometimes okra.
mm,
Uh, and there are other things. They call it, I don't know, we don't know about it. They call it lafidi. And that one is white rice. Uh, and then they fry the fish dry, very dry, sometimes chicken. And then they have some other items like eggplant and then okra, and then mix this and fry that too. And then spread just a little bit of oil, droplets, olive oil, and then place the fish on top of that. It's like, oh my goodness, it's so delicious and easy to eat. Uh, Makes you feel, it doesn't make you heavy. When you have that, it makes you very comfortable, especially after a breakfast. You be tired. With that, makes a lot of difference.
Mm, mm. It's how intriguing, Alpha. You are well fed, apparently, during.
No, certainly. You can see me.
No, it's very interesting. So these are all the things that you bring at work. So when you break your fast, when you do your iftar, which is am I right?
Yes,
That's
yes, iftar, yes.
that's the meal to break the fast. This is the things that you eat. So yeah, it's really interesting. I'm actually familiar with many of the foods that you mentioned. You mentioned cassava leaves and
Yes,
plantain
yes.
and
Yeah.
rice. Yeah, I'm from I'm from the Philippines. I'm Filipino. So we have similar foods that we eat. We also eat rice with every meal. And we do something similar with the plantains. We fry them and we roll them in sugar and we eat them as a snack. It's really, really good. Yeah.
Very delicious, yes.
Yes, yes. It's just intriguing to me because we come from different parts of the world, but we have
Yeah.
similar food. Yeah, it's even the cassava leaves. That's something that we do. I'm not a chef. I'm not a cook. It's just what I know. We have the cassava leaves, and I believe we yeah we cook them with coconut milk, and it's good. Yeah. So yeah, interesting. Thanks for sharing. That's really intriguing, Alpha. Okay. I just wanted to ask. As you know, uh, a big part of Ramadan is fasting. What does fasting signify?
Wow. Fasting, it's it signifies a very important part of Islam. It is one of the pillars of Islam. Before you become a Muslim, you have to uh, believe in the five pillars of Islam, which is the first one. You have to believe in the declaration, which Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa la sharika wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Uh, you say Sayyidina Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You believe in that I believe in Allah, and that I declare that His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His last and final prophet to humanity. If you declare that makes you a Muslim. Then what next? You have to perform your 5 daily prayers. Uh, uh, that is part of our life. We have to do that every day. Pray Fajr, Zuhr, Ashri, Maghrib, and Isha. Also, you can also perform a lot of supplementary prayers. It doesn't mean it's only in Ramadan. You can make supplementary prayers. For every prayer you do, you have to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for whatever you want, which most of us we don't use, but it is normal. Those are the times whenever you pray, in the morning, in the afternoon, late in the afternoon, in the evening, and night, you always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to uh, help you, provide you what you want, and then that's it. Then also we have another pillar, which is providing uh, zakat, giving to the poor. You give the poor. As we know, humanity, we are all not uh, equal. There are certain families that find it very hard to survive, and it is ordained on every Muslim to be charitable, be giving, need to help and support other people at all times in life, every day. It's not only in Ramadan. Then the fourth one, which is Ramadan, that you must fast. This one, all these other ones you do, declaration, prayers, and then charity, all this is for you. And this other one, which is Ramadan, this is directly for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, you fast and you fast for me and I pay you and I reward you directly. So that's the thing that makes it very, very significant, because you get a direct payment from the Lord himself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay. Then the final one, which is the fifth one, is Hajj. That one is not, I cannot say obligatory. Maybe those that know better that can rectify me on that part. If you can afford it, you should perform Hajj. You cannot afford it. Allah knows best. If you cannot afford it, you cannot be held for not performing the Hajj. Only those that can afford it. So the significance of Ramadan is difference is that all you do, most of the things you do it for yourself. But this one, you do it to satisfy Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly, because he ordained it. So you fast for me and I reward you.
That's very interesting. Can you introduce us to your guests, Alpha?
This on my right here is my dear mom, Aisata Jalloh, named after my mom. And then my guy on my left here is Mamadou Lamarana Jalloh, named after my wife's dad.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good.
Thanks
Hey,
for
Dad.
thanks for joining us. We're happy to have you, both of you. Thank you. Alpha, I think what's really striking about what you said, that there are pillars of Islam. It's not just one, it's actually 5. It's really interesting. It's about declaration, prayer, charity, Ramadan, and Hajj. So it's these 5 pillars. They're sort of the foundation of Islam, and Ramadan is a significant part of that. So that's really striking, because for many people, possibly here in Australia, they might not really understand, what are these pillars, and many Australians, they just have a surface understanding of what Ramadan's about. I think many people know that it's about fasting, but not many people know that Ramadan is a pillar of Islam. So I think it's really interesting that you're able to point that out. It's really fascinating. Thanks for sharing that, Alpha. I just wanted to ask, just building upon that. We live in Australia, and Australia is a multicultural community. There are many people here, but majority of the people are still, the local Australians. If I'm an Australian, and I approach you, Alpha, and I ask you, hey Alpha, good day. Can you tell me, in a short response, what is Ramadan really about? What will you say?
Ramadan, it has a lot of components. It's a wide range and it's got a lot of reasons. Ramadan is about cleansing, self-cleansing, self-purification, and a moment, a time of prayers. I can call it a period, a windfall of blessing, as I say earlier. Ramadan is actually during this month that the Holy Quran was built. and then that makes it unique, makes very, very special. That's why you can hear imams and everybody is always calling on people to read more of the Quran, pray a lot of times, make more supplication, makes more requests from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All these things makes it special. These things about this Ramadan. Ramadan, if you fast, it has got a lot of things. You know, you see people spend a lot of time, go to the gym, do a lot of fasting, like you be instructed by an instructor to fast, not to eat, stop eating this food, stop eating that food. This is a period where a lot of people, you lose a lot of weight, you know, healthy. It's reduced a lot of fat in your system. It makes you stronger. It helps you to be more disciplined, you know, because there are so many restrictions in Ramadan while fasting. You have to control the things you look at, the things you say, the things you do, places you go, you know. So this helps you a lot. It's a period of restructuring, a time where you can reshape yourself, you reshape your attitude, the way you think, you know. As I said earlier, if you gossip, if you lie, if you steal, you used to steal, and all these things, you don't do them. So if it's a habit, you're doing it all the time for the past 11 months, like in a month, 30 days, okay, I'm not going to do it this for 30 days. I'll stop smoking for 29 or 30 days. You know, these are the things Ramadan helps people, you know. Then it comes again with a package of blessings. You know, you pray. Like during the Ramadan, there is a day we call Laylatul Qadr. It's a night which if you pray and Allah accept that prayer for you for that night, which we suspect to be the day when the Quran was actually revealed, then it's equivalent to 83 point something months, which is about 1,000 months, 1,000 months, which is about 83 point something years. If Allah accept that for you, and then definitely you are bound to heaven, to Jannah. And then imagine me at my age, I don't know whether I'm going to live up to 80, 83, 84 years. So if I pray one day and Allah accept that day for me, and then for the rest of my life, I am someone that Allah has already forgiven, provided I did not go astray from what I used to do. I purify myself. I try to maintain the status as I have placed myself that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I want to be a good Muslim. I want to stop stealing. I want to stop lying. I want to stop gossiping. I want to stop all these negative things. So if Allah accept that for me, and I am bound to continue that. Even though I'm human, we are not perfect. But it's like after Ramadan, you are like a newborn child.
That's really intriguing what you said, Alpha. It's about Ramadan has a lot of components, and a big part of it is, I like what you said about cleansing, about self purification. It's like a restructuring of your life, because you are sort of like renewing yourself every year, and I think it's a unique part of Ramadan that not many people understand. And I think that's a really good point. Thank you for sharing that, Alpha. We're just about to wrap our interview. I just have one last question for you,
Okay.
Alpha, and I think it's gonna be an easy question. Yeah. The question is, what's your favorite part about Ramadan?
My favorite part about Ramadan. Wow. Ramadan in itself, the whole month, if every human being, every Muslim is aware of the blessings and goodness that is in Ramadan. We always wish that every day is Ramadan throughout the year. That is one good thing about thing I always think about Ramadan. Ramadan, the other specific days, it's a period it's a windfall of blessings. It's like, for example, like you, Miko, you being moved to the vault of the central bank, and it's open for you, and they say, Miko, take whatever amount you want. Nobody will ask you, whatever you take is yours. That's how Ramadan is. Ramadan is even beyond that, because Ramadan promises Jannah, Jannah to Firdaus, where you be living for everlasting life, where you be living with the pious people, those that have been forgiven by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You'll be among them. A place where you will be, your wishes be like a click, not even the wink of your eyes is slow, it's very slow to your request being responded, being given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once you say kun and it is, be and it is, that is how it is in Jannah. Because even no imagination can tell you the beauty of Jannah. So everybody, each and every one of us as human beings, Muslims, we all want to be in that condition in the hereafter. So one of the most important part, the opportunity, the windfall, the opening of the vault, the opening of the bank, it's Ramadan. So for me, there is no specific period, and I would say this is the period, this day. For the last 10 days of Ramadan, which is we do the Tahajjud prayer, which from the 20th to the 29th or the 30th day of Ramadan. We always, it's very good period also, wherein we can spend time praying in the masajid. We pray, like after we do our Nawafil prayers, we come back home, then we go back, we do what it's called Qiyam. We do Qiyam. After the Qiyam, we pray maybe up to 3-4 o'clock in the morning, then we have pray our Fajr prayers. That is a very good period. While you do that, it's a period wherein you sit down and then pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, place your problems, place your desires, what you are looking for, what you want from Allah to help you. Pray for your job, pray for a good wife, pray for good children, pray for a very good community, pray for peace in this world. And also we pray that I can use this opportunity to pray for COVID, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to eradicate COVID from amongst humanity, and take it far away where there is no life. And I pray that it makes it easy for our brothers and sisters in India. It doesn't matter whether they are Muslims or Christians or Hindus or whatever. We are all humans, and whatever is plaguing humanity, pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to eradicate that from us, from this world. Because it does, as I say, if somebody is sick, especially with COVID, it doesn't know whether you are Muslims, you are Christian, you are Hindu, or you are from India or Philippines or Pakistan or China or wherever, America or Africa. It doesn't care. So that's why I will say, for every human being in this world, we must always see ourselves in each other. I see you, I see myself. You see me, you see yourself. That is what Islam is always propagating. There is no discrimination in Islam. Islam believes in equality of humanity. The men, the women, you be black, white, whatever you are, whether you are Christian, you are Muslim, Islam see humanity as one people. We always should be the same. And I pray that whoever is listening to me to say Amen, to pray for India, and then that Allah help India, Brazil, United States, and all over the place, all over the world, that he remove COVID COVID-19 from amongst us, from amongst the people of this world. So if I have answered your question, maybe that's what I have.
Yes, yes. No, you absolutely did answer my question. Thank you, Alpha. That's very interesting. I like what you said about this is a period of blessings. This is a period of where you feel most blessed, and where you can get more goodness. And I think that's something that the world needs right now. The world needs more blessings. The world needs more goodness. And I think it's really interesting what you just shared. Thank you so much. We have a question, Alpha, from our one of our viewers. Uh, they're asking the first one.
One moment.
What's the
One moment. You just on computer, don't go down. Okay, go ahead.
Sure. I have a question. What does Eid mean to you, and how is it celebrated in your culture and now in Australia?
Oh, Eid is a culmination of I can say the climax at the end of the Ramadan. Eid al Fitr. That's the day after we finish fasting, we come together as Muslims to celebrate. How we celebrate that, because in Australia, usually, if it's in my country, it should be like a public holiday. In most Muslim countries, it should be a public holiday. But since we find ourselves in a society like Australia, we hope and pray that one day it will be recognized as a public holiday, wherein everybody, every Australian, be you Muslim or whatever, can come together and celebrate. We still have people from the community that are not Muslim celebrate with us. They send us, they provide food for us. They send food to families not afford it. They are not Muslims like your organization is doing. We also, like on that day, the kids, it's a day that the kids look forward, because most kids don't have the opportunity to meet with their other friends from the community, Muslim community. And then because most of the time they are at school, and then we know the society how we find ourselves in Australia. So they always look forward to that day. It's a period wherein kids expect new dressing, new clothes. The wives, the time, the wife cook, do all this cooking and all this. It's a form of a campaign that you get her the best of dresses, so that she can appear, well dressed. That's the time. They come out, they show their dressing, friendship. We also exchange gifts. Sometimes we visit each other. It's the time for me to take my family. I go see my in-laws, my big brothers. For me, in my own culture, like we the Fullers, we have our organization, like the Sierra Leone Muslim Association, like the Mojabere Fulbe Australia. We come together, we have a specific day that we identify, that most people don't go to work. We go to that place, we come together, we do barbecue, we eat together, we pray together, kids play around, run around, talk. Most times there are issues that we we discuss family issues or things. We make fun. We get a lot of fun. You know, express gratitude to others that have been very nice. And also have imams that will come around that will also admonish us, increase the advice for people to increase our iman, which is that we fasted for 29 or 30 days, and then it's not because Ramadan is finished we must change, go back to our old habits or tricks. So it's like guiding, each other, makes things very, very good and happy. It's a very, very nice and wonderful day. Most times you see when Ramadan comes, you see the weather could be so unique, be so sunny, not too hot, not cold. That is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we feel good about it. It's a sign that, yeah, we are on the right path.
That's really interesting what you said about Eid is a celebration. So it's a time where everyone comes together. It's very similar to Christmas for me. I'm a Christian, and then we have reunions with the family and with friends. And I think yeah, it's very interesting that it's very similar to Christmas is very similar to Eid. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's thank you so much, Alpha, for sharing. We have another comment here. Somebody's asking, where is your beloved wife Kadiatu, Alpha? Is she sharing as well? This person probably might know you. This could be Frank. Is she sharing as well?
Very, very well. My wife, I can say, is something I can call a blessing to me. Most times we make a lot of mistake, and not that really make taking your wife, making them that individual that is important. In a relationship, in marriage, it's like everyday life. It's go up and down. But I can tell you, my wife is 99% very, very sharing. She is extraordinary. She is a wonderful cook. She takes care of the family, especially now. I think I left that out, especially now during this month of Ramadan, that is a period, they've got so much to do. They take care of, they get extra job, like the cooking. Because for us, mostly, we always have fresh food every day. So she cooks every day. And you can't believe it, she goes to work as well. She goes to work. Yes, she reschedule her work, her shift, then make sure she's here on time. And I pick up the kids, but mostly she drop the kids to school in the morning whilst I go to work. It's for me, I can say the heartbeat of our household, the wife. And I can assure you this, the heartbeat of every Muslim household is the wife, because it's a big job. You see, most people, we fail to realize, when they ask you about your teacher, we think about Auntie this or Mr. this in school. The first teacher in life is the mom, because they have double. I cannot explain how much of job my wife is doing in the house. It's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward her what she's been doing. All that I can do, all my job makes everything easy for me, makes life very simple. She is and has been the one that is backbone. She is the major pillar. And worship well, can fast completely without any issue, any doubt. I believe my wife has been real foundation of that for me to. I really appreciate it. It's been very good.
Mm-hmm. That's very good to hear, Alpha. I like what you said about your partner, your wife is a blessing. I think now more than ever, I think that's really important. Your wife, your children, your family. I think you begin to realize that they really are a blessing in every day, and especially now during this time for you during Ramadan, where as you mentioned, there are extra responsibilities. You know, you have to prepare more food. The food has to be fresh, and you have to schedule your eating periods. So there's an additional responsibility there while working, while taking care of the children. So it really is an extraordinary job. And yeah, you're right. They are a blessing. So that's very good to hear. Thank you so much for sharing that, Alpha. We just have one last question from our Facebook. You sort of touched into this earlier. Do you meet as a Sierra community during Ramadan?
Yeah, we do meet as a Sierra Leone community and a Fula community as well. We meet, we bring food from all household, we bring it together, and we sit there, we eat together, and the kids do Quranic recitation. We encourage them, not like a competition per se. We let them uh, uh, come around, read the Quran, to motivate the others. Others are no better and younger ones growing up, because what we want to do as a Sierra Leone community and a Fula community, find ourselves in Australia. So Australia is a multicultural society. Everybody tries to make sure they maintain and keep their cultures, their tradition. Also, it is incumbent upon us as a community, as a people from Sierra Leone and Fula community, to make sure we maintain that. But we want to teach our children that they belong to a particular community. They belong to a particular religion. They are Muslims, and then they are good. All the good things about Islam, they need to know them. The culture of giving, we always teach them culture of sharing. In society we find ourselves today, people are becoming more greedy, people wanting more for themselves. So we want to let them know that life is not like that. Life is like a community. You have to come together. They say it takes a village, according to Hillary Clinton. It takes a village to bring up a child. In this context, the child is our culture. We need to involve every child, every member of the community, every member of the Fula community, Sierra Leonean communities. We come together. We always make sure there are so many things that we do together, not only for Ramadan. We celebrate Sierra Leone independence together. We celebrate a lot of things together, like naming ceremonies, weddings. We always make sure we practice exactly what we are taught as kids when we are back home in Africa. This is what because I can tell you one thing. I might go back to Sierra Leone one day. I don't know. Or maybe I will die in Australia. I don't know. But my tradition, my legacy that was being passed on to me as an African, as a Fula, as a Sierra Leonean, I need to pass that on to my children. They need to have that. They need to maintain that, because we believe it is of the best of ways of life, because we always try to make sure we teach them to be good, to be honest, to be friendly, and to be just special in society. Always try to be helpful. That is what we as Muslims, as Sierra Leoneans, as Fula people we are. That's what we always want to pass on to our children. And inshallah, we will do our best, make sure we give all that is good, that is better, our tradition to our children, so that we maintain it. And then that we can grow in Australia and others can see it and we love it.
Mm. Mm. I think it's great, Alpha, that you stay close to your community, and I think it's great that you never forget where you come from. I think it's great. What I like what you said about, you know, you're you don't forget your identity. You are from
Yes.
you never forget who you are and where you're from. And I think that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, Alpha. And I think we will wrap it up from there. Thank you so much, Alpha.
You're welcome.
I learned so much today, and it was really a pleasure having you. Thank you for
Thank you
joining
very
me.
much. God bless you. And
Yeah.
anytime you need me, I'm ready.
Yes.
Say hi
Yes.
to everybody. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Yes. And we want to say thank you, everyone. Thank you to everyone for watching our live
Yeah.
stream, and we will see you next time. See
Thank you
you.
very much. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Alpha.